Hey, what's happening? Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I got two videos that I made this week that are just waiting to be downloaded, put off to the side. I've been up since 2 a.m. I started working on a third video talking about a tweet from the Texas G.O.P, a particularly shallow, I don't even know what to call it, ignorant, stupid tweet from the Texas G.O.P. I'll talk about that in a second. Then I started looking at some of your comments. I think I'm going to combine the Texas G.O.P. tweet, this ridiculous tweet, with some of your comments. All right, so let's get right into it. Okay, this tweet that the Texas G.O.P. put out, it concerns COVID testing and voting. It's a picture of a long line of people waiting to get tested for COVID. God knows there's a lot of lines around here. Now, I feel no need to get tested myself. I'm assuming the people waiting in these lines either have symptoms or are getting tested because they didn't get the vaccination for work and they have to get tested every week or every whatever, which must be a serious drag. But I won't get into that yet. All right. So they put out a picture of a long line of people waiting to get tested for the COVID vaccine, to get tested for COVID. Okay. Their wording was, if you can stand in line to wait to get tested for COVID, then you can stand in line to wait to vote. Texas GOP, that's their argument. Basically, it's saying, we're doing such a sucky job and interfering in your life and your valuable time so badly here, then surely you can tolerate us doing it over here. That is their argument. The owns, as they call them, the replies, the responses were fast and furious. I'll put a lot of them down below. Basically, a lot of them were good too. Basically, they said, well, if we could send all of our social security information, all of our banking information, all of our financial information, if we could send through the mail the actual documents for voter, you want us to mail in the actual evidence for voter identification through the mail, but you don't let us vote through the mail. That doesn't make any sense. If you could trust the mail to send in our identification, you could trust the mail to send in our votes. It doesn't make any sense. One of them showed a picture of an at-home test box, and it said, well, if I could test at home and mail it in, then I could vote at home and mail it in. The replies are way better than I could even tell you guys. I can't believe they actually put out a tweet saying this. Basically, they're saying we're doing such a crummy job with this, then surely you can handle us doing a crummy job over here. Voter suppression, that's all it is. It's not about voter integrity at all. And this article pretty much highlights it. Okay, now your comments. Okay, so some of the comments I got were I had to talk about a couple of them. Okay, first of all, I got a lot of comments on the double masking thing. It's so strange. A lot of the videos that I think are going to get a lot of views don't. And the ones that I never think this isn't going to get any views get way more than I thought. This happens almost all the time. I cannot predict where something will land. You guys are unpredictable. I think a lot of it is just in the wording of the title. Sometimes I think I don't use the right wording, and it doesn't portray what's in the video. Anyway, a lot of the people that responded to the double masking video about one or two videos back, a lot of them said, I'm not getting the jab. And I started thinking about that. Every single person, just the wording. I'm just wondering about why the word jab. They will not use the word inoculation. They won't use the word injection, shot, or any other word. They exclusively, the people that won't get the vaccination, use the word jab. And I started thinking about that. Could it be that simple? Because the word jab makes it sound violent, and harsh and painful. Jab. Or like it's interfering in your life. I'll be honest, the booster shot, all 3 shots I got, I was in and out in 10 minutes. The first two, I had to sit around and wait to see if there was any reaction. The booster, I was in and out in less than 10 minutes. I swear to God, I didn't even feel. I swear on the Bible, I didn't even know that I had gotten the shot. I told the guy, I said, this is the best injection I ever got, because I didn't even know he gave it to me. It was covered by insurance, in and out in 10 minutes, and I'm all set. Good to go. All right, so why do they call it the jab? Then I started thinking, it almost sounds psychosexual, I jabbed her good last night. I'm trying. Hey, if you guys could figure out why they call it this, the people that will not get vaccinated exclusively use the word the jab. Why? Is it? It's obviously it's. I think it's more than just an in phrase. I think there's some kind of imagery that goes along with it. Help me out. Okay. Now this comment took the cake. I decided to be completely open and honest with you guys. And I told you about how I kind of have a phobia of being laid up sick from when I used to get, when I was physically addicted to drugs. It reminds me so much of those days. It scares me, even though it wouldn't be exactly the same. I'd still be laid up, but I have a fear of it. I do, of going back to that. I love being productive every day, and I tried to translate this into, it was not an honest representation of why I was wearing two masks. And I got one response that was just particularly, I was amazed. The person said, there was many days that I went to work dope sick and worked 8 hours because I'm a strong man. Or just said, I'm a strong man. And I thought about that. Now, this person, a lot of times, people that are in recovery will tell you they're in recovery. People that are in recovery know their recovery date. 99.9% of people that have not used know the last day they used, even if it was over 15 years ago, October 23rd, 2006. This guy didn't say anything about being in recovery. He was bragging that he was used to going to work, that he could push through a day of being physically ill from his addiction to opiates because he's a strong man. And I'm like, this guy can't possibly be in recovery. Chances are he's still using, and this made me feel some sympathy for him. He's still using, and he's trying to reason, make excuses for his addiction, that he's handling it because he's strong. It reminds me of me, what I said. I remember telling my mom back when she caught me using pot when I was like 15 or 16, that I was strong and I could handle it, and 4 or 5 years later, I was smoking crack. Seriously, that's what you sound like. But the strong man part really made me think, basically, you're using opiates. If you're getting dope sick, physically ill, you're not using any drug the way you should. If you're using the drug the way you shouldn't be getting dope sick. So you're doing something obviously wrong, and you know it. You're using the drug as a crutch to get through your normal life. There's something in you that you don't like, that you're trying to change, to try to change your day, the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about your day, your life. You're trying to change it. Those aren't the actions of a strong man. Think about it. I'm trying to help you. Okay. One of the last, sometimes I get extremely harsh comments. And after 15 years of recovery, I know who I am. I'm just amazed that people try so hard to get a rise out of me, or get a rise out of anybody, or they go to such lengths to be nasty. I got a couple where they inferred that the reason I got the COVID shot is because I liked the feel of the needle, because I was a heroin addict. I'll be totally honest with you guys. I don't know why. I never injected. I only used nasally. I don't know why. I don't know. I think deep down, I already had such a huge problem the way I was doing it. I had been in and out of rehabs 13 times, and I saw I was in just as much misery as these other people, but it seemed like they had it even harder. They had a love of the needle. And it seemed like an additional addiction that I just didn't want was not just the love of the drug, but the love of the needle on top of it, which I didn't understand and I didn't want to understand. So I never once in my life ever injected. I was a full-blown heroin addict, but I only used nasally. Not that you guys need to know that. Not something I'd ever put out here, but so somebody inferred that. I always get those mixed up. Inferred, or somebody suggested that because I like the feel of the needle. No, because I actually quite the opposite, because I don't want to feel like I did back when I was using, those days that I felt dope sick. All the rest of your comments are just amazing. I always feel like I kick the ball out there and you guys run with it. You take it. I try so hard to think of ideas and analogies and different points to make, not just reporting an article I read, but getting more into it. And then I read your comments and you guys take that and just run with it. And you think of things that I never even thought of, and angles and reasoning, and I just love it. You get the positive responses and comments are amazing on here, and I would be here all day. I thank you guys. I appreciate your comments. I love your comments. Thank you. Thank you for viewing, and have a great Saturday.